Hi guys, welcome back to the Heel Podcast. We are back with a podcast after about, I don't know, a couple of months.
Too long.
A long time.
Far too long. That is what it is. We have a lot to cover today, as you'll see in the time stamp, whatever it's called. It's a long one. It's a long one. In today's video, we'll also include our punishments from FASTLANE from last night. We did our punishments. Well, we're gonna do our punishments in a bit, but they'll appear at some point in this video. And then in about 2 or 3 days' time, it'll be its own standalone video as well. But we have to eat. Well, not even eat. Hold in our mouths if you're doing what I've got to do. Yeah, soap in the mouth for a good allotted time. We'll decide on the number when we get to that point. But yes, we lost. Well, we didn't lose. Well, I did. We didn't beat the 2K game on predicting FASTLANE from the other day. I lost. I think all three of you drew. Phil lost as well, but Phil copped out. I'm doing it. So at some point, if you watch this podcast, you'll see that it's there. So you'll get like an early 2 days sort of early access. But now we start with WWE NXT No Mercy.
That intro. That intro. That No Mercy intro.
Oh,
the
game.
64.
Yes.
The nostalgia back to the old N64. Like, oh.
You said about things that we were going to talk about in this thing, and do you know what? I'd completely forgot that they did the whole the old game intro.
Oh, it blew me away. I loved it because we saw it because they released it like a day before, didn't they?
Yeah.
They've got a feeling we're releasing stuff far too early.
Yeah, like Jade Cargill's surprise.
That was bullshit.
But we'll get to Edge.
Yeah.
No, they probably released him
No,
around
it's
the
probably
right
about
time,
right.
to be honest with you.
Don't ruin my joke, sunshine.
Hold on. The funny thing is, I see something this morning, and I want to check if it's true. So you carry on for a second.
No.
We're talking about
No,
releasing them.
We're going to say everyone's here is awkward silence.
Is it that Triple H spoke about Edge being fired last night? On
No,
on
but
the
He didn't
press
get
conference.
fired.
someone said that he's actually on the WWE roster still.
Yeah, he's not. He might be in the alumni section.
Even a Rasta. Anyway, first match of the night: Baron Corbin, Braun Breaker. We said last week when this came out that felt like very close to being match of the night. I don't know
I
if
think it was a great match.
I don't know if it was quite that level, but like on paper, I was thinking this could really go one of two ways. This is going to either be an absolute travesty, maybe a bit of a botch fest. Really good.
Really good.
It was very
Really
good.
good. Braun's impressing still, and Baron has stepped himself back up to where he was before he went to the main roster, which is crazy because he was always good when he was in NXT. Like the Lone Wolf stuff was brilliant, and he seems to be back there now with this stuff he's doing. Honestly,
Maybe NXT is where he needs to be then.
I'm all for it.
Where
I'm
he's
all
done
for
his
it.
best stuff.
Yeah, he's obviously not being used correctly on the main roster. That's the thing, isn't it? Like
The main
I
roster,
don't know what it is, but yeah,
He's like.
main roster's,
Go on, Titch.
I was going to say the main roster is so much bigger than the NXT roster. It's a lot easier to get it mixed up and lost in the shuffle.
The issue is, I think, between that sort of that gap. There is an actual gap between NXT and like the main roster. It's something that we've seen people like. Even recent times, Dolph had issues where he was just sort of floating between the two. He was like he was a bit too good for NXT, but he had nothing for him to do on the main roster. Finn had it for a little bit. Corbin's got it now, and it's like it just seems to be a bit of the way that we're doing it. But I mean, if this goes towards us becoming the third brand, which was initially the plan, what 4 years ago, then I'm all right with it, I suppose.
For me, the only thing is, and hopefully this changes with things that are happening like at the minute, NXT ain't getting the eyes on them at the minute, and that's why people still criticise them because they were just used. No one's really seeing them on there really. They're just not getting the eyes. But hopefully, with things going on, that's going to be changing a bit.
Well,
yeah, it's certainly going to get some eyes this week.
Yes, this week we'll definitely have it.
And I'm hoping to see Corbin actually do something this week, give him a bit of airtime while the eyes are going to be on there, or will they just not even give him the airtime?
I don't think they'll even give him airtime this week. I think
Which
they'll
is
keep him
crazy.
off.
Well, yeah,
Get eyes on him.
that's my only concern with the NXT for this Tuesday. That's going to be on this Tuesday. So we got AEW and TNA. AEW and TNA.
TNA, yeah.
AEW and NXT on the same in the
TNA.
same night.
Cross the line.
For the
Sorry.
first time in God knows how long or ever. I think we're going to end up with all these big names on the show, and they're going to fill the 2-hour slot. And I worry that we're not going to get bugger all NXT stars on it. And it's like,
The only ones you're going to get are the ones that have been announced, like the Bron Breaker.
yeah.
It's all you're going to get.
But you're
I
not
think-
you're not going to see. I don't know. Who am I looking at? Are we going to see people? Wow. Did we have a legit injury in the family match on that night? Was D'Angelo's a legit injury?
Don't know.
I don't think we're going to see
Still don't
even
know.
people like that, are we? Even
You
though
won't
they-
see the
No.
Creed
They've won it.
brothers.
They're tag team champions.
I don't know. You should see the Creed brothers. I think they're just unreal. That match, by the way, was
Yeah.
fantastic. It wasn't what we wanted it to be because they didn't go with the tornado tag that we all kind of hoped they would.
And
Yeah.
it'd have been good because it was a really good simulation as well on the 2K game that we did.
Mm.
But it was still a fantastic match.
No,
Yeah.
it was a very good match. But in between that one, actually, we had Trick Williams versus Dominic Mysterio, which was also a pretty good match. However, It was weird that we had Trick win, only to then lose it again on the following Tuesday anyway.
But the thing
And
was
it's like-
that kind of told the story that it needed to within a few days. From there till the Tuesday, it told a bit of a story with Trick and Carmelo.
Did it though?
Just
That hovering over the belt.
Yeah,
There was
around.
definitely a dissension between the two, and
But
obviously
it-
not only that, but we got to see Trick's nameplate for his gentleman sausage.
Twix
Yeah.
Willy. Twix Willy.
But yeah.
Willy.
Could
He's done its job in 3 days.
Could it not have waited until this week though? Another thing to just compete with
No.
AEW? Why?
No, because as Rhea came back, and that was the story that they told, was that he lost it because Rhea wasn't with him.
Yeah. And then she made him get it back. Told him not to
Mommy
come home
rescue.
unless he had the belt.
Yeah, I suppose it'd have made a difference, otherwise Dom wouldn't have been there last night for Fastlane.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think it was more of the reason he got that belt was just for Trick and Carmelo, that little story there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Done its job.
Is there... No, actually, after that, we'll move on to the British Rounds Rules match, which was weird, between Noam Dar and Butch. Noam Dar sort of making his sort of yearly appearance.
His annual appearance.
Yeah, that's what I said. Cheers. Just fucking Titch is the walking thesaurus today.
It's literally what yearly means, Titch.
I know.
Again, did we expect anything less than the sort of level match that they had? It was good. It was all right, but it didn't wow me, which was a bit of a stinker. What are we doing with Butch now, though?
I think they're staying on NXT.
Butch and Ridge Holland staying on NXT?
So obviously, it happened on NXT this week. So obviously, since the pay per view,
Yeah.
But Ridge is now down there as well. He went down to help because obviously the match ended with basically 7-on-2, wasn't it? Because there was all of Metaphor and all 3 members of Gallus were attacking Butch and
I'd seen it. I lied. Tyler Bate. I'll do it again.
Tyler Bate.
Yeah.
He
Jesus,
did the exact same thing before we
How
started
do you
recording.
why does his name keep going blank?
You should remember it. He's Masturbate.
Oh god, yeah, that's true. When they were on, stop, I've gone again. When they were on NXT, this week, it was basically turned into a 3-on-2 with all 3 members of Gallus beating down Bate and Dunn.
Yeah.
But sorry. And then Ridge came out and made the save. So no Sheamus. Sheamus seems to have disappeared almost completely. I know Sheamus was very vocal in the last couple of months about him not getting TV time, essentially, and it seemed to all being given to Roman Reigns, I think, was his biggest argument.
Was that his gripe? Was it? I thought
yeah.
I thought they were quite pally people together. Those two,
quite possibly are, but you can still have a friend that you're off about.
I suppose.
And that they weren't giving enough time to the lower members of the card, basically. And then obviously he had Edge's final match in WWE, and we haven't seen him since. So
it was almost like
it Sheamus's final match too.
Yeah, I was gonna say almost like it's a double WWE retirement match.
Yeah,
it was kind of strange without them saying it.
I mean, it could be possible now because Ridge and Butch have gone down to NXT. That could be the end of the Brawling Brutes.
Well, this is the thought process. Maybe that's why they've gone down to NXT, is because Sheamus is
done. You can't really have the Brawling Brutes without Sheamus. It'd be a bit poo on the main roster. Although I do like Pete Dunne, and I tolerate Ridge Holland. He's okay. He's there. He's not the worst thing in the world, but he's not good.
I mean, Brawling Brutes versus Pretty Deadly's on this Friday as well, though.
It is.
Like,
it is.
Monday. Friday?
You know what?
Friday.
Are they Raw or SmackDown? Do you know what? It was advertised last night, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's Friday.
Was that no?
Sure it's Friday.
Was it? Wait, was it last night or was it SmackDown? It was advertised. It might have been SmackDown, and then I thought it'd be SmackDown.
I think it was SmackDown, and it was advertised for next week on SmackDown.
Yeah,
I think that was the right.
Sense.
But yeah, so A, Pretty Deadly are back next week, and B,
Grew it up.
The Brawling Brutes are back up on the main roster as well. So who really knows? I don't think they're completely sure of what they're planning on doing at this point.
It's almost like they've got a plan, but they've also got the backup plan in place just in case Sheamus disappears. But good.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. Yeah, next match. Ilya Dragunov, new NXT champion after defeating Carmelo Hayes. Only a matter of time, surely, for both of these, really, that Dragunov gets the win, and then only a matter of time before Hayes moves up.
I think Hayes' move up is supposed to be happening, should happen. Although I have read recently that Shawn Michaels apparently said to Hayes directly, "You're not ready to go up to the main roster."
Ooh. I think he'll get lost. I really think he'll get lost.
I think you're probably right there too. Like Hayes and Trick going up together to join someone like a Bobby Lashley and join a stable like that.
Yeah, so you have a 5-man, so a bit like
which we've all said.
Yeah,
but
Scarpa's the singles, he'll get lost.
Yeah, I think you're right. In all honesty, I don't think he's got a big enough name value, and I don't think he's a big enough talent.
No, I think
there's stand out on the main roster.
There's better wrestlers up there that ain't being used.
Well, the next question is if they were going to push someone up out of these two, surely it'd be Dragunov that would be the one to move up instead.
I love Dragunov to go up.
There's a bit more. I don't know if he's got more charisma, but there's a little bit more to his gimmick.
Oh, he's unreal charisma. I don't want to say it either, but I think Dragunov would get lost as well.
Do you reckon? I don't think he would. I think his fighting style would shine through, and I think that would be a big thing. I think that would be like nice for the people that only watch the main roster. They'll go, okay, this is actually something different. A bit like
I'm going to point out the other problem with Dragunov as well.
Elephant in the room.
Yeah,
we're not going to rush in. Yeah, so we're not rushing into things, but he isn't going anywhere.
So moving to a major US TV station. I know obviously NXT is on USA at the moment anyway, but moving to one of the bigger like flagship shows.
No, I agree.
Are they going to push him into a top spot with that? And that's it's awful because it's not his fault. He's fantastic. He is genuinely a fantastic wrestler. But the political climate, the way it is, it could genuinely hold him back.
No, I do. I do agree. However, somebody that is still on the main roster, but it's the current NXT champion, Becky Lynch, has retained, beating Tiffany Stratton. What a fucking match, by the way. Was that the best women's match we've had in WWE this year?
I still remember
This year, yes, easily, I'd say.
23?
Yeah.
even after the Dragunov fight finished, I remember us saying the girls are gonna have trouble topping this, and then they went
And then
and
it did.
did what they did. We were like, "Fuck!"
No, it was phenomenal. However, what was not phenomenal was the image that WWE put out of Becky's laceration with her sweet corn in her arm.
Oh, with a
Yeah,
sweet corn in her arm.
Yeah, you could see her bleeding a bit, and I was like, "Oh, there's a bit of blood there," but I didn't realise how bad
It was green.
Yeah,
It was
Well, yellow.
green.
It was more yellow. It was more yellow.
Yeah,
It was fucking grim. It was grim. It was just gross. I was just like, that's fucking nasty. And then she was ruled out for. She ruled out of.
Tegan Knox.
Raw. She was supposed to take on Tegan Knox on Raw.
That's it. And Tegan Knox ended up taking on Natalia.
No, Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea.
Look at me remembering shit. Let's go.
Well, you need to do something because you just ignore us during the watch along sometimes.
did.
Yeah. Sit there in silence for most of it.
Honestly, I do zone out.
That's all right. Everyone does whilst they're listening to the podcast.
Especially when we're going Titch, and you're just like
Everything went wrong. Yeah.
Technical difficulties last night were just something incredible. That she was just
absolutely ridiculous.
Say something, Titch.
Say something.
I've had to unplug my headphones, unplug in earphones because they just kept cutting out. It was
me, Pete, and Dan were sat there at one point and we said, "What a good one! We used to actually have guests on because you and Phil were both sat there in silence."
No, Phil had bad news. In all fairness to Phil, we'll give Phil shit, but to be fair, he was needed.
He was muted and talking.
He was needed to be dad. So, yeah. But I mean, that rounded out the NXT show. Since then, obviously, we've had it announced the Tuesday show, which we're going to have. Who was it? Cody Rhodes? Paul Heyman? John Cena? I feel like I'm missing a big one. Asuka.
Yeah, and there's every time they've been talking about it, there's been bongs at the end of the adverts.
Gongs, Pete. Gong.
Not bongs.
Gong.
No.
Get your bubbles on and
your bubbles on.
No, there's been bong.
No, it's gong, Pete.
No, it's not.
With a G.
No, it's not.
It is. It's 100% gong.
I'm gonna say it's dong. All right, what are we gonna do about that then? Dong.
Yeah, that's true.
Dong.
It is neither a.
It's not a penis, so we'll move on to the next show. WrestleDream was the night after, and to be completely fucking honest, boys. Well, Titch. You're listening.
I am listening, boys and Titch.
I was fucking dead. I was dead. I was exhausted before we started because we had SmackDown, then NXT. Then WrestleDream. I was so tired. But do you know what?
Next day, it took about an hour.
Whole fucking show. I actually thoroughly enjoyed this entire show. Again, another AEW thing that I thoroughly enjoyed, which is nice. Even though it was so long. What time was it? It actually wasn't too bad. Actually, it was a 5 o'clock finish, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what 5-hour pay-per-view basically.
Let me just find something, but I just wanted to talk to you guys about something that for WrestleDream that Link has very strong opinions on. I just need to find where it is in our Discord. And if you're not in our Discord, go to the link below, find our link.
God, are we going to talk about Meltzer's stars?
I feel like we should. Mate. I feel like we should because it's a very fair point about it because it does at least give some relativity to match to match based on what Meltzer's saying. So I do not agree with the amount of stars that he's given the matches. Most of them are far too high. Like 1 star, maybe 1.5 star in some cases, maybe 2. But relatively to each other, I suppose you can look at them and you go, yeah, okay, that's actually not too bad, which I've done. So 0 Hour, we had a 2-star match with the 8-person mixed tag. The mixed tag.
No way was that a 2-star match.
But it's the lowest one that he's voted throughout the whole night.
Yeah.
That's right. That is right. Because it's a mixed tag. I don't know what you can expect from it. Claudio versus Josh Barnett. Barnett? It's Barnett.
Barnett.
was the best match of the 0 hour. It was good, but I actually like the Acclaim.
I agree with that.
I liked the Acclaim versus TMDK as well.
The Acclaim match was good, but it's Claudio. Claudio's just phenomenal.
I feel like we're very biased though when it comes to people like Claudio though, because he was just so good in WWE, and now it's like he's our fucking guy. Let's go, son. Let's fucking go.
Good. He was that good. He was
Just
that
he's
good.
at a different company doesn't mean he's shit now.
No, he was that good. Moxley even got fined, didn't he, for his language that he was using during that match.
He got fined for it, did he?
He got fined.
Yeah, well, he said he did.
He said he did, but yeah. Luchasaurus versus Nick Wayne was in that match as well. That's a very important one.
Yeah, it is sort of.
Nick Wayne's mum.
She's hot.
She's not bad.
Nick Wayne's mum has got it going on.
I give it 4-star Dan ratings.
Nick Wayne's mum gets a 4-star.
Yep.
That seems fair.
The issue is out of 10. But no, really good 0 hour match card. I ain't going to be able to go through it in terms of move by move because, it was a week ago. So
it was over a week ago. Yeah.
MJF versus The Righteous was the first match of the night.
How over is MJF still is so good.
Yeah. Oh God, sorry. What can I say? What can you say about the MJF match? Really, it was good.
Did anyone honestly expect him to retain?
And Fat Boy got body
going
slammed.
into a handicap.
In fact, hang on.
Good point.
Go on. Yes, I did, and Titch, you also thought he would retain. So what the fuck are you on about? Because we actually did our predictions last week as well, guys. Yes. We'll jump back to NXT quickly and just mention it. Who got what? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7.
This is why Link wanted you to mention the whole thing, by the way.
I didn't bring it up.
You did earlier. You got predictions.
Pete got 2. Titch got 3. So I feel like I've done valiantly. 2K23 got 4. Link, what did you get in the NXT show?
I got 7 out of 7.
Well done. However, when it came to WrestleDream, he did not. He started the main show without the win. He had the Righteous. 2K had Righteous. Pete wasn't here. He had work the next day, so I don't blame him. But yeah, so yes, you and me, Titch, is exactly who predicted MJF that would walk out with the title.
To answer your question, Titch, did everyone really predict him to win? Yes.
Genuine.
Yes, we did. You and me.
To be fair, I remember discussing that, and even I said it'll probably be MJF. But if they're ever going to take the titles off them, now would make the most sense because it's a 2-on-1. And Cole's not going to be back for a while by looks things.
No, silly boy, silly boy. That was something else that happened since then.
Stupid man.
So since we've started doing podcasts, me and Link now are at least I feel like we've granted ourselves part-time wrestling streamers. I feel like we've granted ourselves to the next level, not just whenever we can be asked. Me and Link stream Monday nights, Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and then Saturday nights if we've got a pay-per-view. And obviously with this, it was Sunday nights. So make sure you come and find us. Twitch.tv/TheHeelProject.
The only nights we don't stream normally are Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. However, this week we're doing Tuesday night as well.
Wow.
Yeah, but you're not doing Wednesday, so you just swap in.
Not doing Wednesday.
Well, there's nothing on Wednesday, so.
No, we haven't. What did we decide, by the way?
NXT.
We
NXT.
did decide NXT. So we watched NXT on Tuesday this week, as we don't normally watch it.
Triple H as well, by the way, is on NXT this week.
Is he really? I know he's on SmackDown next week.
Sure, he was on Sure, he said he was on NXT, didn't they?
No, it was on SmackDown
Maybe not.
next
Maybe
week.
it's SmackDown.
But I'm looking forward to the battle. The battle. But yes, Adam Cole broke his ankle after being a silly tit jumping off the stage after running down the ramp because it was
it was a stupid stage as well.
It was the first time in ages that we had the flat ramp.
It was
into the ring.
him. Just jump into the ring.
It
Don't
was stupid.
jump down.
100% stupid.
Yeah, I don't understand why he didn't just jump into the ring and go across.
It was easier.
Yeah, a bit of a mess. What was the next match? Oh, according to Dave Meltzer, MJF's match was worse than the Eddie Kingston match, which was 3 3/4 stars is what he's given it instead of 2 3/4 stars. So he reckons it's a whole star difference, which I think is a fucking lot, to be honest. I don't think it was any better. Certainly not by that much.
Well, I really liked the Eddie Kingston match, to be fair.
I think it was a different match. That's the big thing with this, isn't it? They were different matches. So obviously the the MJF versus the Righteous match was more about like the storytelling and the fun aspect of wrestling, whereas the Eddie Kingston and Shibata match was more about Eddie Kingston wrestling with himself and trying to remember that he's a wrestler and not some random street thug and failing miserably because he's just a terrible human being.
Well, I was going to say, is that part of the issue that I want to put it down because just Eddie Kingston, I'm not a big fan of him. He's the reason I was just nearly walked away from AEW right at the very start of it because of the whole fucking explosions and fireworks. It's just like, oh my god, what?
Oh, that death match.
Don't get me wrong, the pyros were his fault. It weren't his fault, but the
no, they were. They were 100% Eddie Kingston's fault.
All right, well, blame Eddie Kingston. Why not?
But as an actual wrestling match, this was quite good. I enjoyed it.
And
it was a good match.
Who predicted this one? Everyone predicted this one, so there you go. Just to keep you up informed of who predicts what, Titch.
To be fair, the reason it became easy for this one was because it was a title match.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. If it hadn't been, then I think Cheerbatter could have won.
Yeah, because Eddie's just won the title, hasn't he? It wouldn't have made sense to take it off him. Not by him.
No.
Shibata, not Cheerbatter.
Sure. Chris Statlander was then the next match versus Julia Hart, which, to be fair, Titch, well done. You were the only one to predict that one, so well done. Chris Statlander won.
Hasn't it just come out? Julia Hart's taking time off because she's getting married.
Yeah.
No.
I told you yesterday.
No. That was mentioned last week as well. It wasn't just, we mentioned it last week as well during the show, yeah. It was mentioned, in fact, someone mentioned it during the show. It may even be someone in our chat.
I mentioned it during a different show, but it was after WrestleDream.
That was only last Sunday.
It might have been during Dynamite that I mentioned it.
Was that Wednesday?
Yeah. It definitely wasn't.
Maybe.
It definitely
when
wasn't.
I say just, I don't mean like
because I wouldn't have picked Julia Hart as my prediction if I knew that she was about to take time off. Like that would have been stupid. Like I didn't know.
I thought I thought we'd done it after we'd done the prediction. Was what the issue was. But no, fair enough. If it was Wednesday, it was Wednesday then. But again, good match. First match. It seems weird that they're going to give her time off after she's had the first match she's had in a long time. But yeah,
but I mean that's her first loss.
Yeah,
she was on a winning streak. So
the match wasn't too bad though.
The match was good. The match was good.
It was one of those for the weekend. I was just like, do you know what? Women's wrestling was fine, mainly because I think that was the only women's match on the card. It was
for this show, yeah,
and excluding the mixed tags. But yeah, what was next?
I mean that first mixed tag I tried and pretend didn't happen. To be honest with you,
should we move on from the next one because it's the tag match, and I don't really want to talk about the fatal 4-way tag match.
I feel like we've got to mention some bits.
Alright, I'm just going to say Super Kick Party, and then I want to talk about Swerve Strickland and Adam Page, please.
Okay, let's move slightly past the tag match and talk about the tag division.
Yeah, go on.
Because there was some quite big news last night.
Yeah, there was since the show. Go on.
In that FTR lost the tag titles last night to Ricky Starks and Big Bill.
Big Bill,
formerly known as Big Cass. I don't know why. It is a bizarre turn, really. I know we've read recently that Dax has been doing his trademarking stuff and has now trademarked CMFTR.
Yeah.
Which somebody put up earlier on that CMFTR looks like he's trying to spell comforter, which I thought was quite strange. Read into that what you want.
Well, that'll be Cash once he's in prison.
Okay.
Why CMFTR, just not FTR?
CM Punk, their best friend.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, who's also gone since we last done a podcast?
Yes.
CM Punk is also gone, so it's probably a good time to mention everything about CM Punk because, oh my God, what an absolute cluster turd of noise that we had around CM Punk for like the few weeks before he went, and then the few weeks after he went, and even now we're getting it again because he's now suspected to be coming to WWE,
which I'm not good with.
I am so sick of hearing about CM Punk at this point.
Leave the guy shrivel into a hole and be unemployable.
But the guy is
money.
And if there's money on the table, someone's going to pick it up.
Yeah.
You know,
then leave it to
the be
Impact.
all and end all.
Let Impact have him.
He's gonna make whatever company he goes to, he's gonna make them millions from sales, and he's gonna make money.
He's money because he's controversial.
But he's money. For
So
someone to sign on a short-term deal, get money, and then go see you later, perfect.
And I think that sort of finishes it up with what talk we want to talk about CM Punk, I think.
Yeah, I
we all
think
went silent, so I'm guessing. But let's
return
back. Let's return back to FTR then. Go on, Ed.
Well, I was about to say, with FTR, I could the push of Ricky Starks and Big Bill. They've been on a really good push lately.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
The problem is their story was coming to an end anyway, really, because they've been feuding with Moxley, and Claudio, but that's kind of over with now. They've kind of brushed that aside.
Yeah,
I was wondering what the hell they were going to do with Starks and Big Bill, and this kind of really makes sense. It still elevates them to a decent level as tag champions, because that whole story was just kind of over and done with.
But the issue is, are they going to be transitional champs because they're going to give it to the Bucks anyway? Because they won that match. Not Lucha Brothers, not the Guns, not Orange Cassidy and Hook. No, we're going to give it to fucking Young Bucks.
But all that's for
also, by the way, sorry, go on.
I'm saying all that's for is a future title, which they were going to get anyway. But I think the Bucks are too engrossed with a story they're doing with Kenny and that at the minute anyway. So I reckon there's going to be a fair bit of time with that tag titles. Because Kenny's involved in...
What have the Bucks got with the Kenny at the moment?
I think you're going to see, with the feud that's going on with...
Don Callis.
Yeah, I reckon you're going to have... He's going to start getting more and more a bigger stable. And you'll end up with the Bucks, Jericho, Omega.
Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, I think you're going to have all them lot. It's going to turn to two big stables for a bit.
Yeah,
a bit like what they're doing in WWE.
You might be right.
And New Japan.
You might be right.
Yeah.
Well, New Japan's done that for years.
Yeah, exactly,
with the
that's my
stable
point. It's like they both want to do the same thing at the same time.
So someone that got kind of overshadowed in that was my brain has just gone to mush.
Trying to think what Ray Fenix, Hunter.
Fenix is the international champion. There you go, the Guns. Gun Club are absolutely on a roll right now, and I honestly think that they are probably the tag team to watch right now for the future, because they are unreal. They are so young, really, really starting to get in there with their stride, with their charisma, and I think they've got all the talent in the world. Like they're going to go big, especially as a tag team. So they are the tag team to watch in AEW right now.
Well, hopefully that. Yeah, I'd rather than the Young Bucks. But
yeah.
Anyway,
kind of goes without saying.
Swerve Strickland versus Adam Page. Hello, my cat has arrived. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, that match was what it was. I think it was a good match.
Yeah.
Did I care about the outcome, really? No. Was there any stakes on the line for it? No.
They just really started to build this up as a massive feud like 2 weeks before, but out of nowhere, and it was over and done with in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was just a really good match, but there was no
match.
They put on a load of feud things to try and make it out that it was this big blood feud, and it just wasn't.
Yeah, because even to the point the Wednesday before, we had the contract signing, which was terrible.
Yeah, they closed out the show because it was supposed to be this big thing. And it was like, huh?
They kind of closed out the show because then we had the thing, we had the thing afterwards.
Yeah,
is it MJF? Is it not MJF? Is it
When I see
Yeah.
bits, I was like, I didn't realise this was as big a deal as it was, because they just hyped it up massively.
That's because it wasn't.
No.
It wasn't as big a deal as it was. So they made it to me that one night. Yeah, it was very strange.
No, it was weird that when they announced that was the main, like going to be the last bit of the show. It was like,
Yeah. I thought if I missed
Why?
something,
Ricky Starks won against Wheeler Yuta. So yeah, it's the guy that gets battered.
Mm.
Was anyone
Yeah.
surprised? Well, apparently
No.
me and Titch were, but Link wasn't.
no, Ricky
Yeah.
Starks, like I said, has been on a push. He's been fighting Claudio, Moxley,
Yeah, yeah.
Wheeler. So, makes sense.
Match of the night, match of the weekend, maybe. If you like that style, I don't know. I don't know if it was for me, to be fair, because I'm not sure if it's my style that I like to watch. But Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Very
I'll be
technical.
honest.
But
Really technical. It was a lot of that.
I'm going to be deadly honest.
I get lost.
I'm not a Zack Sabre Jr. fan. I think a lot of his matches are too technical and they're just not entertaining.
That's the issue.
Yes, yeah.
I mean,
Some
this
people
is
love
my
it.
completely my
Yeah.
opinion on that.
Yeah, that's
and I
the
know
idea
that-
of the podcast.
And his ability, don't get me wrong, his in-ring ability, his technical ability is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he puts on a masterclass in what he does, and what he does, he's one of the best, if not the best.
Yeah.
But it's not the sort of wrestling that I really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
Obviously this ended in was it a referee stoppage this one ended in? It didn't end in a submission.
Fuck, it was a week ago and my brain's already forgotten it.
No, it's Danielson beaten by pinfall.
Yeah, he pinned him.
Yes, he
Was it
pinned
pinfall?
him. He didn't. It was.
Yeah.
It was
Wasn't submission.
He did it. With,
It was a strike.
yeah.
He took him out with
Yeah.
a
It was a knee
strike.
strike.
and then pinned him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously for that reason, Zack Sabre Jr. is still claiming that he's the best technical wrestler because he beat him with a strike and not a technical maneuver.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what it
Don't
is.
hate the player, hate the game. Sort of
Like you
springs to
said-
mind.
If you like the technical stuff, if you like technical wrestling, this would have been one of the best matches ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I've got no question about that whatsoever.
Yeah.
Do I agree with Meltzer's star rating of this? Absolutely not.
5.5 out of 5 stars. Bear in mind, his rating system is supposed to be 5 stars. So he's giving like 6 stars and 7 stars. Then he's doing halves and 3/4.
I think it's
Just-
great.
It was ridiculous.
You know why he does
He's
it,
got
don't you?
5 and wait, we're talking about it. 5
Because
and
it
a half.
annoys people like me.
Because we sit there talking about it.
It annoys
Yeah.
the neck beards.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
He's like, okay,
yeah, all right, fair enough. Is what it is. So yeah, that was all right. Do you know what? The next match was actually something that I'm really starting to enjoy in WWE,
Yeah.
which is the Don Callis.
AW.
Shame it was on
AEW.
AEW then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck yourselves. Yes, AEW is what I meant. Don Callis family. That whole thing. I'm really enjoying it now that Sammy's on his team as well. Now,
Yeah.
and since the pay per view we've had bloody, what's the big dude?
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Powerhouse Hobbs. He's joined as well now, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well,
We
certainly
think.
looks that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure he has.
It hasn't been confirmed. But
For the record, we haven't watched anything of Collision or Rampage, so if anything else happened on AEW this week that we have missed, then we're sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
We caught the
There's
few.
been a lot.
Yeah, we caught the few bits that happened from last night, like the FTR losing the titles and things. But apart from that,
Like what?
FTR losing the titles.
Sound like you said the F car. I was like, who the hell's the F car? What?
The FTR losing the titles. We saw that, but we didn't actually watch it. We just heard about it. But they actually, who won that match? Oh, Don Callis family,
Don
didn't they?
Callis.
They beat Chris Jericho and the Golden Golden Lovers, as Link wants to keep telling me. It was written down as the Golden Elite on my. It is wrong.
Yeah,
He is
they
right.
are still named as.
They are still a Golden Elite.
No, they're
No,
not.
they're not.
Oh, for God's sake.
They're the
No.
Golden Lovers.
Even on Wiki, they've quoted them as the Golden Elite still.
Mm.
Wiki's wrong.
So the Golden Elite is more of them where you got the Young Bucks with them.
The Golden Elite is the Elite.
Yeah.
The Elite is obviously Kenny in the Bucks.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
The Golden Elite is Kenny in the Bucks with Kota Ibushi. Just Kenny and Kota Ibushi is the Golden Lovers. That's
wasn't
their
that
tag team
just
name.
referenced in New Japan? That's never actually been mentioned or referenced in AEW.
What, Golden Lovers?
Yeah.
Nigel McGuinness called them it on that night.
Oh, did they? I haven't watched that one.
Yes.
But yeah, I was about to say, because I don't think it's ever referenced otherwise, apart from in AEW.
They've as a tag team, they've always been called the Golden
Yeah.
Lovers.
But I'm liking what they're doing with Take a Shitter anyway. Is how they're getting on.
Yeah.
It's take shit a, not take a shit.
Take a shit. Hey.
Take shit a.
The thing I've been looking at the minute is Ospreay, whose contract is up in February.
Not going to happen.
AEW want him. WWE want him.
Not happening.
Everyone wants him.
He's not going WWE.
He's going to start a bidding war.
He said he's open.
He said
he's open to everyone.
Yeah.
But do you remember? I don't know if you see a clip that came out a while ago, and he got offered a contract by Heyman, and Heyman actually personally gave him that contract. Said, "Whenever you want, open contract. Whenever you want it, it's there," and gave it to him. And Triple H has said that. Apparently, Triple H said that he's putting a massive push in to try and get Ospreay. He really, really wants Ospreay. So
he could be offering big money for him.
Mad,
yeah. His contract is up in February.
Yeah.
So it's whoever offers him the most money because he's going to go to America now. But it's just whether he's going to AEW or WWE.
No, true.
The thing is, I don't see it as an unreasonable thing for him to go to WWE either, because he's always said that he wants, like, WWE was always his goal.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he said at the minute he's open to offers, but he's working with AEW because of the New Japan connection. So
yeah, it's because it allowed him to be working in an American company while he was still working for New Japan. Although New Japan have got a habit of doing this, where they allow their talents to go and work for an American company, and then because they get over in the American company, they go, "Yeah, don't come back," and they close the country to him basically, because it's basically what they did to Kenny when he went off and started AEW. They basically denounced his ability to enter the country. They banned him from the country. He wasn't able to fly back in at all.
But I think
a couple of years.
Ospreay's at the perfect age now where he's going to make the big jump to one of the two American companies, and is just going to smash it wherever he goes.
No, there's a fair chance. There's a fair chance. FTR Aussie Open we've kind of spoke about, but that was the match just before the end. We did like that it was like the FTR and their Australian alternate universe selves.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what the Aussie Open are. It's really cool.
So Mark, whatever his name is, Mark Davis broke his wrist during that match.
And the injury actually carried on, and they didn't realise how bad it actually was.
Yeah, and then Fletcher appeared on his own this week on Dynamite as well, didn't he?
Yeah, broken wrist.
Yeah, broke his wrist during that match, and from what I've read as well, there's a possibility that Cash is injured as well at the moment, which will be an injury that he's carried forward from that match.
Right, okay, but again, the fact that FTR have put out saying the run is over, I love you all, Top Guns out or something. Top
Guys out. Yeah, but Top Guys out's how they end most of their tweets, in all fairness. And he did actually put out another tweet not long after that said, "Chill guys, I always end my tweets with Top Guys out."
Oh, okay.
So yeah, maybe people are reading into that a bit too much. But it's still there's still something gone on there, because it's weird that they've dropped the titles, which is what makes me think that Wheeler has maybe carried an injury into it and have dropped the titles because of that. And obviously we know that Wheeler's got the court case and stuff.
I was going to say, or things
legal
something else has come out that
issues.
Wheeler's got a gun. No, yeah, it could be that something else has come out about that, and that there's a bit more evidence about it, and they've gone, yeah, we'll just wait for it to blow over a little bit, shall we? They'll probably still stick by him, and nice to see a company stick by them if that's what they want to do, rather than just going along with what the public say should happen.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I start this one? No, I'm not going to say it. Christian Cage versus Darby Allin was a really fucking good match, by the way.
Unreal.
Unreal. And if I think if I start referencing anything else, I think it'd do the match itself a disservice.
How Darby Allin's alive,
Yeah,
It's crazy.
is just.
some of the best heel work that I've seen in the last few months from Christian in that match.
Oh, Christian's always been phenomenal.
Oh, of course
always
he has,
been phenomenal.
but
and
Since he got that leather jacket.
In particular, I thought last Sunday was exceptionally good.
yeah, he's back to doing what he does best, which is storytelling, and building a character and building a story around characters. It's something that's kind of lost in AEW. They don't have a lot of stories going on most of the time.
Yeah.
And it shows that it's been missing because this is probably the best thing that they've got going on the show right now. There's a reason for it.
Yeah, you're probably right. You are probably just looking at the card. You probably are right. But some of the spots were just so unnecessary and horribly mean, and throwing Darby Allin off of the fucking ring apron and onto the steps. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. It was like
flipped him upside down and just threw him.
Yeah,
well, the first time
the
first time he missed. The second time he caught him, and the third time it really caught him. It was like
the thing was,
it felt like a bit like Shane and Shane and Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
thrown through the glass.
glass.
Do him again! Do him again!
When I watched it, when he threw the first time and he missed, I went, "Oh, that hurt." And when he did it the second time, I went, "Oh, he should have missed because it wouldn't have hurt as much as it just did when he landed." It's exactly what it was like.
It was rough.
And then start stripping the ring down and batter him in there.
And that was good. And then
just unreal.
That ring was
Unreal.
just chaos.
Who came
by the
out?
end.
Did he win the match by that point?
It was
Did he won the match? He had won the match, hadn't he?
I think he won by that point.
Nick Wayne came out.
Nick Wayne came
out
out
to
to try
try
and
save him.
Yeah.
And then Nick Wayne didn't save him.
Smacked him in the face with a belt.
So he
Nick,
was.
what are you doing?
Oh no, because did we have Luchasaurus came out as well? And did we have someone else come out?
Maybe.
No,
Sting
it
out.
was just those two.
Sting came out.
Sting came out. Of course he did. Yeah.
Sting came out eventually because
Sting.
then eventually on Dynamite, Sting's name got mentioned a lot.
Sting,
the Hall of Famer, Sting. You hit an old man, Sting.
It was Sting.
But the man that said that was, well, you probably think you know him.
Yeah, at the moment he's off fucking himself.
What?
At the moment he's off fucking
Oh,
himself.
I see the reference. I was thinking, sorry, I thought Link was getting aggressive.
I just thought it was some weird game that he knows about.
Adam Copeland.
The rated R superstar.
Which I was surprised he got.
I'm surprised he hasn't got Tony Channel in there at the moment, to be honest, he's doing his intros.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
It wouldn't surprise me if that comes soon.
I was surprised he was able to use the nickname. I would have thought that would have been a copyright thing.
It was a copyright. The copyright slipped, I believe, in 2021.
Oh.
And they obviously missed.
They never renewed it.
To renew it, yeah.
Well, that was the next thing. So obviously, Adam Copeland's rocked up as Adam Copeland or as Ledge.
Ledge. Yeah.
Or Legend, but now he's just Ledge. Ledge.
What a ledge.
Absolutely something I'd do if I was doing Ledan and someone talking French.
Yeah.
Are we happy about seeing Mr. Copeland joining AEW?
Yes.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think it's something new for him.
Titch, you keep going miles off the screen on the OBS. Do you want to just go to the centre a little bit more? There we go.
It's nice to see him and Christian back together again. Yeah. Or even though they're not together, they're together on the same.
That's the reason that was the final decision he went. That was the final reason he went.
So too, yeah.
He did say he was like when he could realise that he wanted to work with him again, and that it was there, and the way he's been elevating the company already, he was like, "Do you know what? I want to go work with him again. I want to do stories with him again." My best mate.
There's a lot more
Uncle Jay.
freedom with AEW as well, so we can try new things and do new things.
Well, it's just I think it's more the fact it's like you said, it's a lot more relaxed in AEW. Like his schedule doesn't have to be as intense as it would be in WWE.
There's probably going to be more.
They said it's going to be.
He's signed a full time. He's signed a full time deal.
But he isn't going to be in, like, because I think he was still doing. Wasn't he still doing like all the crappy house shows for WWE?
No, Edge had a really cushy contract in WWE. He was turning up every sort of 3 months, and that was about it.
Oh, I thought he was still doing house shows.
Nah.
No, he's going to be quite full on by the sounds of it in AEW. They're going to get their money's worth out of him. Put it that way.
I think it's right for all parties. Triple H mentioned it in the press conference that he was okay with it. Like, Edge came to them first, said that it wasn't for him anymore, and they kind of agreed, is what he said.
Yeah.
Which basically meant, like, Edge didn't think they had a spot for him. WWE
They
basically
said they haven't got a shot for him.
They couldn't argue with it. There wasn't really they didn't really have a current plan with him. So if he wanted to go, then they didn't want to renew his contract. He wasn't going to renew his contract. Then all best wishes.
Good luck to him.
He did put that big statement out on social media, didn't he? Saying they've grown each other, and you know.
But like Dan was saying, so on the press conference last night, Triple H was asked about Edge leaving. And he said, basically what Edge said. He reiterated it. He said, Edge said, blah, blah, blah. I completely agree with it. You know, we outgrew each other. He'd done everything he needed to do here or could do here. And we weren't going to let him do anything extra. So,
without them mentioning the words AEW, it was all very open about, like, no, they weren't hiding anything, was he, Triple H? He just didn't mention the word. He said, he's called him the other side, so. It was nice, but I also kind of thinking
he didn't say the other side.
No, I think he said it after the guy asked. No, the question.
someone asked that in a question and said the other side in the question. He never once referred to them as another side. He may have said the other place, but he didn't say the other side because that implies competition. He didn't do that.
Yeah, he wouldn't acknowledge him as a legitimate competition.
Somebody in the comments prove
Triple H acknowledged him.
Acknowledged him. But I was wondering whether this Edge was actually part of a trade deal, if I'm being honest. Like there was like a gentleman's agreement, like we'll let yours go if Jade lets hers go, and that's that, and we get Jade. It does feel like, I don't know, it was like almost like
it is strange timing. It's happened at the same time, but I don't
swapped over without very much arguments, and obviously Jade came from was trained by Cody's school. So
Nightmare
Factory. It was a bit like, okay, that feel like a bit like, okay, they're both going to let the contracts go, no arguments, crack on, done at the same time.
Cody was asked about that last night as well.
Oh, Cody was asked about a lot of things and he couldn't keep a straight face because he had the mess next to him. But we'll get to that one. We'll finish. We're going to finish this podcast with the press conference. But I mean, Edge being back, I think I'm happy with. Shall we move on to the FASTLANE?
FASTLANE.
I think.
Who did we start with?
I think it may be that time.
Keep away from eyes. Don't say nothing about mouth.
No, same.
Hi everyone, we're interrupting the podcast because I don't know which point we've interrupted the podcast at, but we're here. We're about to do this. You're our special guests. We are very grateful that you were here for the podcast. You get the early access 2 or 3 days early. Watch us do this. Thank you. You're probably going to be around the sort of 50-minute mark already. So if you've got this far, then holy crap! Thank you much. We are very grateful for the people that watch the podcast because not everyone wants to sit for an hour and 20-minute video. So thank you.
If you have sat this far through and you're watching this right now, comment down below and just put the word cat.
Nothing else. Cat.
Just the word cat. Let's see who actually is there.
You want to know a couple of facts?
Yes, go on.
This is vegan shower gel.
Well, if it's vegan friendly, that means that a meat eater can eat it too. That's the rules.
And I read in the back.
I learned that from Ajax.
It actually says there's 15,854 real mint leaves in every bottle.
Great. How many are you going to eat?
Mine's suitable for vegetarians.
Well, if it's suitable for vegetarians, it's suitable for meat eaters. That's the rule that I learned from a bottle of Ajax.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
I told everyone about that on an episode of Picky Poison.
We lost the predictions against the AI on Thursday evening. Pete and Link streamed WWE 2K23 simulating Fastlane. On Saturday daytime, lunchtime, we released our YouTube video with it cut down and with all the matches that have been played and who had what. The new rule is for our punishments and the predictions, we have to outright, apparently according to Link, we have to outright beat 2K23 at the predictions for each PLE.
I'm quite happy with that.
I suppose if it's AEW.
Because Link fucks himself over doing that this time.
He did.
Yeah, he
Link
did.
drew. And if Link had said that you
A
had
rule is a rule.
A
Like
rule is a
I'm
rule.
living by my own rules. Like
So we all lost, and even Phil, who did, to be fair to him, said he wasn't going to be joining it for the podcast, so there was no point in doing the punishment anyway. He ended up losing as well. So we all simulation did well this week. Did very well.
did too well.
We're doing we were going to originally do a bar of soap, but none of us had a bar of soap anyway. So I'm going with Magnum Fairy, Aldi Fairy liquid, washing up liquid stuff. Teaspoon of it in the mouth, pop it in. How long we saying?
30 seconds.
Do you reckon I should change mine because of the warning on the bottle?
Mine's Titch. Mine
Too late
literally,
now.
mine literally
It was
has.
like 20 minutes ago.
Mine literally has that
You'll be fine.
Okay,
the exact same image.
that's fine then.
We're not swallowing
Mine
it.
doesn't.
For the record, everyone, it is
No,
going
we're not.
It's going in the mouth. It is suffering. It is us going. A lot of that. So if you've got a gag warning, if you've got an issue with gagging and stuff, I'm going to be really nice and say, right, pause the video.
Close the hub.
Will I pause it now
Pause
then?
for fuck's sake, Link. Pause the video. Leave a like on the video for us, please. If you're here anyway, and I've given you this nice warning, at least you could subscribe, and then you can leave, and then you'll be back for the next video when we're not gagging as well.
We do
Or I
remember
might be. It depends whether.
Or you
you're on
can
the
just
OnlyFans
fast
or not.
forward and watch the rest of the podcast.
we remember
Or
the
just
dog
click
food
up
video.
there, or
I mean, if you're on the
over there,
podcast,
or-
if this is you're on the podcast, I suppose yeah, just carry on with the podcast. The time limit that it's carrying on is here.
We remember the dog food video. Can I skip, pause, and just leave it like?
Can you skip pause? And you had
Skip.
dog food video. Very clever. That was very good. You didn't even mean that, but that was very good, Pete.
No. Can I just leave then? Because my gag reflexes ain't brilliant.
No.
Let's.
I feel like I've directed at me.
Don't know are we doing 30 seconds? I don't know if 30 seconds feels long enough. Or I feel like
30 seconds is long enough.
I think a minute's
Right,
long enough.
what flavours have we all got first?
Original.
Oh Jesus!
Stan sucking on a Magnum.
I have tingly mint and tea tree.
Pete's got the original sauce.
Yes.
So I've got Magnum Original Concentrated Washing Up Liquid, cuts through grease to leave dishes sparkling clean.
Oh my god.
So my bowels are going to look great.
Titch, what you got?
I got Asda's pomegranate and apple extract.
I am on Link's Attract for her.
What flavour? What fragrance?
Rose and it's not burger, but it sounds like burger. Bergamot scent. Whatever
Vegemite.
that is.
Is that
Big
Welsh
I'm
word?
gonna go with bergamot because that's like mop.
And burgers.
I'm
Vegemite.
feeling a minute.
Oh no!
I think a minute's fine.
I'm feeling a minute. You're going to bottle it after before 30 seconds.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you'll probably,
no, no,
you'll
no,
probably
no,
spit
no.
it out
This
before
is
you
for
put it in your mouth.
this
Like
is
you
for
normally do.
me and Link. Billy big bollocks over it. Right, I'm gonna put it on a minute and 20 because that gives me 20 seconds.
Oh
to make sure
shit!
it's in my
Oh
mouth.
shit!
Yeah, mine's already started dripping.
All right, I'm going. Right, I got the timer on.
No, hang on.
Teaspoon.
Oh,
Come on, 'cause
my
it's going
God.
everywhere.
It's so
Are you ready, Titch? Oh shit! So's mine. Ready?
thick.
Ready?
Let's go!
Go.
Mm.
This isn't very nice.
Go.
Who the fuck thought of this?
Go. I have shiny teeth. Oh, I'm blowing bubbles. I'm blowing bubbles.
Hurry up!
35 seconds. Ah, you're gross. Ah.
Mm.
Burns.
Mm,
This is fucking nasty.
mm, 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 mm.
I'm not even
Oh
gonna lie.
my god, that was so bad. Oh. Oh. I did it!
It's the bubbles that just appeared. Oh no! Oh no! I just had a really strong bit in the back of my throat.
I'm swilling bubbles.
Oh, I gagged so hard then. Which is a rarity for me.
Hey Pete, does your tongue tingle?
It's horrible.
Okay. I made a mistake here.
Yes, she's got loads of tissue in
It's
her mouth.
just returning. I think I've got it. Right. Ready?
I can't believe he's
Ready for this? Ah! Fucking wet wipes, man.
You got fragrance ones, that makes it worse.
No, they're fragrance free.
Such a fucking mess.
Oh god, my nose is already down. Good. Well done, boys.
Titch, well done. No, I actually mean this for once. Titch did well. Thank you very much, guys. If you've joined us from the podcast and you were the early gang, hashtag early gang. It's more like I don't know. It's claw. Early gang. And,
Yeah. Hashtag claw.
Hashtag claw.
Don't-
Hashtag
don't-
early gang. Early gang. There you go.
Do yourselves a favour.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't try this at home. We are trained morons.
Yeah.
And yeah. And
Time
if
has
you
come
watched it
naturally.
in a couple of days' time, thank you very much as well. Please leave a like on this video. And we'll say bye to the podcast. Go and enjoy the rest of the podcast. Right, FASTLANE. We started the night after an hour of pre-show with nothing. Again, biggest gripes, the one thing that AEW has going for it at the minute. And to be fair, did we have a pre-show in the NXT one? We did. We had
There was a match in pre-show.
Yeah.
At NXT.
Why are we still not doing it in WWE in like the main roster?
I'll be honest. I know we always complain about it, but that hour goes pretty quick for us just sat chatting.
But it breaks up having to see bloody Wade Barrett and Booker T talking
Yeah,
together.
Wade
though.
Barrett dancing and singing.
Yeah, but we didn't really pay that much attention to it anyway because we're too busy talking amongst ourselves.
I think
And
that was the only bit we paid attention to, and it was like, what the hell are we watching?
we all sat in silence and a bit stunned, to be honest with you. Yes, that's fair. But no, it kind of just gives us that time where we can sit, have a chat, catch up with our chat on Twitch, get sort of settled in because we've only just gone live,
Yeah.
do our predictions, and just sort of get ready for what's coming up.
Yeah.
I don't have a gripe with it being an hour. Don't get me wrong, if they were doing the 2-hour ones that they used to do for Mania and there was no matches on those, yeah, that would be ridiculous. That would be an absolute mistake.
I'll be running late for the show.
I honestly I don't mind it at the moment.
Yeah.
Thinking
Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't
maybe I'm
mind
being
them
a bit-
throwing it. I wouldn't mind them throwing a match on there just to throw away a match every now and again. And maybe we were a bit spoiled because we used to get matches on there. But I don't think it's that bad.
Okay. We started with Judgment Day versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso,
Yeah.
didn't we? Yeah,
We did,
we
yeah.
did in that order,
Yeah.
so we got it in the ascending order.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, didn't see this happening. Didn't see Cody
No.
Rhodes versus
No.
Jey being champion. That was okay. I don't understand the point.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Tag
Oh,
team
yeah.
champions, they hate each other.
I
They
know,
don't
but
hate
the
each
thing
other.
is,
why
I
do
don't
we
think
take
they're
on
gonna hold it, and they
Judgment
don't
Day?
hate each other.
It's
I
odd.
think Cody's the only one in the locker room that doesn't hate Jay right now.
Yeah.
But it's pretty well. Sami Zayn's still on the roster. It's pretty common for tag teams that are two main event guys thrown together and winning the titles, because it keeps them out of main title contention for a little bit longer, keeps them relevant, and just keeps them ticking away. They did it with Hogan, they did it with Macho Man, they did it with Warrior, they've done it with...
You're doing Jey Uso some real credit here, by the way.
Yeah,
but he is main event. He is main event now. Like, whether we like it or not, like Jey Uso, the matches that he had with Roman, he's put himself into that main event slot. He may not have won the big one yet, but at some point, at the moment, as long as he doesn't let his momentum die down completely, he is on par, like, with the main event guys, that he could potentially be a world champion, which is mad. And I wouldn't have said it 3 years ago, but it's definitely a possibility at the moment.
The thing is, for me, I think it could maybe, I reckon they could go down the route of it being pretty pointless anyway, because the only reason they lost this match was to build the tension with JD McDonough, Priest, and they'll probably win it back next week anyway. So all they've done is a bit like the Dom Dom losing the title match to win it back. It just told a story, part of the storytelling bit.
I get what you're saying there.
Yeah,
but I don't think they will. I don't think they'll win it back that quickly. I think Cody and Jay will hold it for a little while, because, like I said, it keeps them occupied and out of the main event picture, so that other people could cycle through that main event first, and then eventually they'll be able to break up and go up to that position again.
Because all I can see, it's just pushed down Kevin and Sammy even more. See, if anyone's going to win the tag team titles and join that little faction for Survivor Series, I would have said Kevin and Sammy.
Well, they're both out with injury at the moment, aren't they?
Are they?
When was the last time you saw them on TV?
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I didn't know if they were out injured or just not doing anything at the minute. And that was like, well, this
they were there a couple of weeks ago, Link.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've been in and out of injuries for a while, so I honestly think they've just taken a bit of time to have some rest and fix up and heal up before Survivor Series week starts.
Because I was looking at Survivor Series, saying what could be teams against teams, and there are a couple short.
Yeah, we're still
the faces.
We're still nearly 2 months away from that. To be fair.
That's why I thought, right, them two come in, the two faces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think at the moment we're looking at 6 and 6 for Survivor Series.
Yeah,
could be good.
Because I don't know how you're going to make it 5 on 5.
No, it'd be 6 on 6.
Would be good. Was there anything else to add to that match? It was a good match. There was nothing amazing, but again, it was a good match.
Apart from JD McDonough actually injured, looks like it's supposed to be injuring.
Good. Move on.
Injuring Priest.
Oh, injuring Priest. Oh yeah. No, we did. We had the moment where I called the "I am the table spot" before the "I am the table spot" moment happened. I was quite. I was quite pleased with that. I was like, it's not gonna break it. It's not gonna break it. It fucking didn't break. I was like.
It's quite funny they didn't break it, because that table broke so easily later on.
Yeah. Well, they probably took out a couple of screws later on, ready for later.
They needed it to go.
A couple of pins ready to go, yeah.
The Latino World Order were next in their next match after Link and Titch have been stopped arguing about basements.
Not a basement.
Shut up. Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar last night were joined by... I spit in the pace. Fuck, I fucked it, alright?
And one job.
To be fair, they also ruined his music.
Yeah, why are you thinking of
Carlito. I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Have they given him a new one, or have they lost the copyright to the original one?
Probably. Well, I mean, both, I guess.
It could be both.
So it's a shame, because I did like that music. But yes, they won, beating the Suit Profits. As we quite like their new name. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. The Suit Profits. If I'm being honest, none of us predicted it except from Link. But had I thought about it, because I knew there was a mystery partner, was whoever the mystery partner going to be really lose after being announced as a mystery partner?
Well, we all thought it was going to be Dragon Lee, and we thought, Dragon Lee taking a loss in this match, it'd probably be Santos or Ray that took the pin. It wouldn't be the big deal.
We also predicted that it'd be during the entrances that the announcement was made, but
we did.
They started the match, were halfway through the match, then Carlito then came in to join them afterwards.
We realised it was be a surprise as soon as they didn't come out. It's like, hold on a minute. Yeah. This is bigger than just Dragon Lee.
So we had a 3-on-2 for a little while. But again, as with a lot of things with Suit Profits and Latino World Order at the minute, I wasn't. No, they're not my top of my list at the minute, but it was all right, and I'm happy to see Carlito back and looking so fucking big. He looks huge.
What did shock me though, when there was a spot with Bobby and Ray in the ring, how the fans were over for Bobby Lashley. The crowd were chanting him. Like,
yeah, the crowd
everything
don't care
for Bobby.
about Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
anymore,
that was shocking.
Considering he was a Hall of Famer, which I'd forgotten about. Considering he was put in this year, I'd forgotten about it.
Something else while we're mentioning the crowd from last night.
Mm-hmm.
Shane McMahon's oldest son in the crowd.
Yeah.
As a grown-up boy.
The commentary. As a member of the Hoosiers or whatever it was, the football.
Yeah, one of the different
stupid
level.
belt.
But like he plays professional football. Like he was a member of that team that was at ringside. So that's another McMahon making his way, making money.
They'll be sponsored by WWE next week.
That more than likely.
And then you were like, okay, it's a bit like Lance Stroll. His dad paid for him to be there.
As long as it's not Mazepin, we're all right.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
Io Sky then retained her Women's World Championship, whatever we're calling it now, against Asuka and Charlotte Flair, thanks to Bayley. I thought she was going to cost her.
No.
But she assisted and helped her win.
I think this is where Bayley's going to ask for her title shot.
Yeah. I've made sure you kept the title, but you owe me.
There's been tension building there already.
Initially in the pre-show, Io Sky said that she didn't want the ringside. She was getting to do it by herself.
Yeah.
She even tried to send her away when she came out at first.
Yeah, but then she accidentally threw her back in and nearly got her, and then she helped her for the win. I was surprised they didn't put it on Charlotte again. Charlotte looks good. She wasn't wearing her red attire, so I suppose she didn't lose. She hasn't lost in her nice new red attire.
The thing is, Asuka and Charlotte don't really need it at the minute. Their gimmick's working.
What I was going to say, do people of Asuka and Charlotte Flair's level need world titles all the time?
No.
And it's elevated Io Sky at the minute to that other level above Bayley.
I mean, but on that merit, neither does Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar or Seth Rollins. So
they don't.
I know what you're saying. But...
Shin could have. Well, we'll get to it, but Shin could have actually benefited a lot more than Seth winning last night.
Yeah. I really think if Roman won in the storyline, Roman.
So would I.
With Charlotte not winning as well, it could give a good opening to, as we said yesterday, the potential program with Jade.
No,
Charlotte doesn't need the title to have a good program with Jade.
The issue is,
it's true. It doesn't need a title picture.
She doesn't. They don't need the title to elevate that rivalry.
Jade Cargill's going to go with. It could go with anyone though. So we're saying Charlotte Flair. It says it's going to be Charlotte Flair. It could be a rivalry against Asuka. It could be a rivalry against Nia Jax. We could see a rivalry against Becky Lynch. We could see it against Tiffany Stratton, for fuck's sake.
But we both said it last night. If you're going to put her against the pinnacle of women's wrestling, you're putting her against Charlotte Flair because she is the pinnacle.
But we included that as part of the fact that Charlotte would be world champion as well.
Right, we did say that. I will say,
she doesn't need it in the very first one. If Charlotte hasn't got the title necessarily, she doesn't need to.
I really think you're going to see her against Nia Jax. And then there was a question we called it a while ago: who's going to beat Rhea Ripley?
I
Jade Cargill.
I would be much happier seeing Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley than I would be Jade Cargill versus Nia.
No, but I think that's where she'll
come in.
That
means I'd have to watch Nia, and I don't want to watch Nia.
She'll come in and take Nia out.
They not
straight
just
away.
release it again already.
And then, I think you'll see her then after she's taken Nia out, because Nia's been made to look so strong. She'll come in and just destroy her, and then she'll go after Rhea. Rhea's title.
Can I throw in a random prediction, by the way, about Nia?
Come on.
I think we could see Nia tagging with the Rock's daughter at some point.
Oh God!
I mean, they are related, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
Distantly.
Yeah. But
Yeah, that's
What a horrible,
yeah.
horrible waste that'd be for Ava.
That's what's going to happen.
Wait till
my words.
Wait till
She
they do a
may even be
stable
pulled
and
up
Tamina's in there.
to the main roster with Nia eventually.
Oh, I hope not. Honestly, I hope not.
Anyway, I've ruined the whole women's division again. Sorry, guys. But
Tamina.
do you know who makes things everything better? With everybody saying L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
He won. He won again with John Cena. And guess what? L.A. Knight is more over than John Cena.
Yeah, that little young up and comer John Cena and LA Knight.
LA Knight is like
a megastar.
Hot as fuck right now.
It's crazy.
It's great.
I'm not really into LA Knight.
In every sense.
Fair enough.
I thought you liked
everyone sucking his dick.
I thought you like the grey look. That's why you'd go for Heyman more.
Yeah,
because Heyman's hair.
Heyman's not grey after last night, mate.
He's got a bit obsessed with talking about his hide hair. Yeah, why not? His hide hair. His dyed hair is what I was trying to say.
Hi there.
Hi there. Hi there.
Hi there.
Oh,
hi there. How you doing?
Hi there.
Yeah, I think he has just given up trying to hide the grey now.
This was an alright match.
Just embrace it.
Yeah, this was actually the one that it was like everyone saw coming. There was no way that Cena was coming back, it being for nothing, and then winning. And do you know what? Not winning, sorry. And losing doesn't upset me.
No.
Being Solo will lose every time though makes me feel sad for some reason. I feel like we started putting a rocket to Solo, and now it currently feels like we're starting to fizzle out with Solo again. It's like we're going to ruin this gimmick if we're not careful the amount of time he's lost recently.
I think he is going to get that boost again.
Yeah,
I hope so.
On Friday, is it when Reigns is back?
I hate to say it, but I think Roman being gone is actually hurting Solo more than anybody else.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree.
Which is bad.
Completely.
And now they're bringing him back. It'll start to elevate Solo again.
Yeah.
It sucks that he's so dependent on Roman to be successful.
Well, this
it's the story that's being told.
Yeah,
the issue is that
he's being lumbered with his cousin, who's brother. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is the issue when you're such a rookie in WWE as such, a rookie according to the main roster, and you're literally shoved into the biggest storyline of the last few years, and then they're taking away the main aspect of it, and they're like, right, now you've got to use all your experience to then have to deal with that, and it's like, but Solo hasn't got that, and his character doesn't have that because Solo doesn't talk.
It's a sink or swim situation for him now because he hasn't got that. He hasn't got the armbands. He hasn't got the rubber ring anymore.
The thing we've got to remember as well for Solo is he debuted in September last year on the main roster. Like he's been on there.
Flash, wasn't it?
He's 13 months
on
the main roster. Like he's very, very green still. He wasn't exactly seasoned when he was in NXT.
No, he didn't do very long.
Like he's still very, very, very fresh to the business.
He'd won the North American Championship, but he hadn't actually done a lot else.
No, he hadn't.
Do you think they brought him up too soon?
No.
No. I think he's managing just fine for what he was at. It's just that the level that he was at wasn't as high as it perhaps could have been, and he's working with someone like Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman is very, very good, and has always been very good at hiding the negatives and the things that you're worse at, and amplifying the positives and the things that you're good at, which is why working with guys like Brock Lesnar, who's very, very good at fighting and not so good at the mic work, he works perfectly with that. It's why now working with guys like Roman Reigns, who's very, very good at the storytelling and not actually as good as people think in the ring, but they're good at hiding that and drawing attention to the story more. Because that's the influence of Paul Heyman. That's what Paul Heyman does to the business. That's the stuff that he works on, and he's very good. He was good at that in ECW, and he's good at that now. He picks the things that people are good at, and he makes sure that that's the thing that you see.
Yeah. He's done well to keep Roman in the picture and alive and relevant, even though we haven't seen him for weeks.
This is the thing.
The whole call Roman Reigns.
I'm not calling Roman again.
Oh, Roman Reigns. Yeah, link on the stream. Tried to call Roman Reigns, ended up calling New York.
I really think though the solo stuff getting lost is just storyline.
Yeah.
They want it to make it look like everyone's a little bit lost without Roman, and it's literally I don't think he is lost without him. I think it's just literally storytelling.
Roman's going to come back and he's going to be like, I've left you for a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
You can't hold it together. Do you honestly need me this much?
Yeah. I think it's literally just really, really good storytelling by the company and everyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Cena. He's got one more match. Is that right? Well, one more show as such on his current contract. Is that right?
Well, I honestly don't know. So it looks like his contract, because he signed a seven week contract with SmackDown, didn't he? Basically, because of the whole actor strike and writer strike. I believe he's done. I believe he's now done 4.
Right. So
it might be. So it looks like he's actually due to end a week before
Crown Jewel.
Oh,
he'll do a Crown Jewel.
That's unfortunate.
Well, I think he'll do Crown Jewel.
That would make sense, but who knows? Like,
well, if he's
just a 1 week extension to his contract.
Yeah, but
it's not even that. It's just you just get paid an interference fee for. He just gets paid a nice little package just for doing that one off. Then doesn't
he'd get paid a massive fee for doing Crown Jewel, but it's whether or not he'll do it, because obviously Crown Jewel still.
It's still Saudi Arabia, isn't
it?
It's
still Saudi, and it still has got
some. And to be fair, yeah, if I was Cena, I wouldn't touch it. But he's done it before, so it's like, well, what difference does it make now? You've already tainted yourself by appearing in Saudi before. You might as well just take the pay packet and do it now. You've tainted it yourself already.
They have allowed Sammy in now, so
that's
one of the major political reasons.
That's
they were
separate.
refusing to go. No, one of the reasons they were refusing to go was in support of Sammy.
No, that's the reason Kevin Owens refused to go.
Whereas John Cena, his image, he shouldn't be going due to the human rights.
But
I think it's one of those no one knows, for the simple reason is they've said when he first joined back up, I've been reading on it, if the writer's strike ended early, he was allowed, it was written in there, he could leave the minute it ended to go back to Hollywood. But if it carries on, if it doesn't conclude, he could be staying there until God knows when, until the strike is over. He is there until the writer's strike is finished. And he's open to work there.
There's a very, very good chance then that he will be there until Crown Jewel.
But they said
Crown Jewel will be the last one.
If it ends early, he's got it so he can leave and go straight to Hollywood. If the writer's strike ends,
I'll be honest.
Finished?
No, it's not finished yet. I don't think it's finished yet. Is it ended?
I'm sure it has.
I think they had talks, and they were positive talks at the end of September, but I don't think it finished yet.
I know.
Okay, I thought it was over.
Well,
I think the obvious direction that the story's going in here is it's going to be, I would imagine, Cena versus Reigns at Crown Jewel. Which will lead into Reigns versus LA Knight at Survivor Series, maybe.
God, could you imagine? Could you imagine that LA Knight's the one that dethrones him? He won't be, but could you imagine they do it? Could you imagine they pull the trigger? Could you imagine if they pull the trigger and then Damian Priest cashes in?
Oh. Survivor Series, but you're going to get...
Oh no, LA Knight wins it for like 3 minutes.
Don't you get champion versus champion at Survivor Series? The Battle of the Brands?
Not always.
No, it's just Battle of the Brands, isn't it?
It hasn't always been Battle of the Brands.
So I could see LA Knight being on like the face Survivor Series team.
Do you think they'll do normal Survivor Series?
Yeah, that's true.
Bring
Actually,
back War Games?
We'll have a face. We'll have a Raw versus SmackDown ones, I think, as well as this Judgment Day thing as well.
It's definitely possible.
I think we could end up with 2 male Survivor Series match.
And this is why
we might not actually see a female one this year because the divisions aren't strong enough. So into the main event, Seth Rollins then defeats Nakamura in a last man standing match. The match itself was good.
Yeah.
The finishing was a bit
shit.
Yeah, all right. If you want to phrase it that way, we can phrase it that way. it was a bit, what? Why? That was a bit rubbish. It wasn't from a very particularly big hit. I know Phil was upset by it. Did make Shin look weak. Shin getting all the way to his feet nearly and then falling back over and flopping was a bit over dramatic. Very almost it was very Japanese style sort of storytelling. And I was just like, oh, that's made you look weaker. I think if you stay down like riding around holding your back or something, I think it would have made him look a lot stronger.
It's nitpicking, but do you know the only thing that really, really got to me about this? The way you could tell that it was over the minute it went up the stairs, because you see the barrier was off, you see the big padding area, and you're like, right, we've got the big finish now.
So
it's just telegraphed it.
Is this not
genuinely looked like he bounced off a trampoline?
On the other one, on the other side of the arena,
on that one, like
when they went up the stairs,
he bounced back up.
And
it looked like he just landed on a trampoline and bounced up.
As the camera panned back, as it turned back around, they were both laying on the floor.
Well, we finished on the table spot, which was over the other side, wasn't it?
Oh, of course it did. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
kind of telegraphed.
I'm going to ask: is this not the issue with all last standing matches in WWE in the last 10 years? Like this is how they all go. They all go that way. It's all too telegraphed. Is it because we look into it too much and we go, well, that's going to be a spot, that's going to be a spot? The point of the matter is we were at
That's why I was like, it's nitpicking.
We were at AW All In and we were watching Stadium. We knew Stadium Stampede was going and there was three or four spots around the stadium that we went, oh, someone's going through that. Someone could go off that. We was convinced someone was going to come off the stage and fall down the back of it or something like that. Because there was a nice spot just behind the ramp area.
Yeah.
It was like, is the disappointment of the last man standing matches our fault now? This is what I'm asking. Is it because we've ruined the last man standing matches for ourselves?
Yes and no. So yes, we've ruined it for ourselves, but we've ruined it for ourselves because the bar has been set so high with some of the matches that we've seen, with the exact examples of the stadium stampedes and things in the Pandemic era especially, where they were, throwing each other in pools and trying to drown each other and trashing bars and whatever else they were doing during those matches. I think that is that's kind of what we've that's the point we're at. God, my words.
That's the level. That is the level.
That's the level we're at, and I think we're trying to live up to that level, and sometimes it just doesn't work. And
you do
sometimes they try and do. And sometimes they try and do a spot that's a bit out there, like they did with the Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens one a couple of years back with the handcuffs, and it goes bad. And there's no way really that they can work around that, and it sucked.
Yeah,
but it sucked because there was a mistake made. It wasn't even because it was a bad match. It wasn't because it was a bad spot. Because the spot, if it would have been pulled off right, would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
I just think I'm not a fan of last man standing matches.
They've got a place. They're just not. They shouldn't be used as often as they are.
It's like I
felt too early in their feud, if I'm being honest.
I would have loved to have seen this be, and it wouldn't have happened because it was used in the main event for WrestleDream. But I'd like to see it used, say, like a 2 out of 3 falls match. I think it would have suited it really well.
I think for me, the last time I really enjoyed a last man standing match was probably way back at like Armageddon 2000.
That's a long time ago.
I wish I was joking, but no, in fact, I don't think it was that. I don't think it was 2000. It might have been 2001.
It's still a long time ago.
No, it was Armageddon 2000. It was Armageddon 2000. Chris Jericho versus Kane.
That's still before Beyblade was born.
And there was a big piece of the set that was literally just a massive stack of barrels. And Jericho pushed the stack of barrels over on top of Kane.
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't land on Kane. They landed on like a car and they trapped him. Like Kane was trapped between the barrels and the thing, and there was a gap for him to put his arm through dramatically, so it looked like he was under them the whole time. It was safe, but it worked, and it was like, okay, we know he can't get up because there's no space for him to get up because he's stuck underneath something.
Yeah,
I think one of the last ones I really liked, I spoke about last night. It was Cena and Margaret at the Rumble.
Cena and Margaret at the Rumble was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's still going back to 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long
I
time.
just think they've sort of lost their place. But I will say, I think this was still the right result. I just want to say that because if they're sticking this on Shin and Shin, because I can't remember who it was. Someone in our chat last night said, "Stick it on Finn, give it for him for a month." I'm like, why? I don't want that. I don't. If they give it to Shin.
Shin. You said Finn.
No, I said Shin. I said Shin. Zoom might have made it sound like it probably sounded fine on the.
I thought you said Finn.
It probably says, "Oh, shut up." It's probably sounded fine on the recording because we got my microphone this end. But you fucking pricks are throwing me off now. Nakamura.
You wanted to have a full run.
Winning it for a month would have been something I wanted.
It's pointless.
And do I see them ever of doing more than that past a month if Shin had one? No. So I think Seth winning it is still the right answer. It's still the right result in my opinion. And it meant that Link had to do the punishment, which you saw earlier on in this video. We haven't done it yet, but you saw it earlier on.
With
Well done, time traveling person.
With Seth beating Shinsuke, though, do you see this as the end, though? Because there was such a big build-up. I'm going to take your title. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
No, it was...
Yes. I think that's the end of the rivalry. It was very decisive.
I didn't think so, but then when Link was talking about it last night, I was like, no, do you know what? I agree. Yeah, like it is. Like I said, it's too early though. If for a last man standing match, this match should have happened. Maybe we could have easily had this until Survivor Series, and this being the Survivor Series show.
Because I know it was
a best of 3 pay-per-views type deal. So we could have had one this week, last night, one at Crown Jewel, one in Survivor Series, and that'd be the feud done.
Can I bring up a point
Yes.
while we're on the subject of hardcore wrestling?
Hardcore. I wonder where you're going with that. Yes.
Chair shots to the head.
Oh, for fucking Don Callis, man, this week. I love it, though. I love it because it was done right, though. It was wrong, but, like, the fact that they've... Because it's just ultra heel. It's obviously been agreed. And the commentator was just like, this isn't something we need anymore. And it was a one-off, like... I'm hoping it's like a rare, bit more of a rarity.
But it just shouldn't have been done because... For me personally, it's like, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying, and for a one-off, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. And it is. But the issue is, you've done the one-off, so now any rivalry that happens in the future looks weaker to this one because it isn't done again. So what you've done is you've said that this can be done, and made it look like this can be done, and by not doing it, you make them look crap. So it works. Yes, it works for this rivalry right now, but it's so short-sighted. Wow. It's so short-sighted to just have an unprotected chair shot to the head for a one-off segment on a random segment in the middle of Dynamite on a weekly TV show. It was stupid. It was very, very stupid.
Question: what makes you bring that up now, though?
Because we were talking about hardcore wrestling, and obviously with that match, and I kind of forgot to mention it earlier when we were talking about Dynamite and AEW. So I was like, "Oh shit, yeah!" I kind of really wanted to bring that up on the podcast.
Nice little segue
almost as stupid as having Kenny do the promo against him, recording it.
Oh, the promo that they did in Japan, and Kenny was
where he was recording the promo.
Oh god, yeah, that was daft.
And then you had the terrible thing with AEW this week where they just didn't play the sound for the bloody segment.
Little details matter, AEW.
We say that. We also
details matter.
We had a couple
of WWE last night
in WWE as well.
They forgot to switch that mute their mics.
So we still had other people talking. It's like fucking hell. They could have said anything at that point.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they started? She just turned round to someone. Let's say someone.
I really need a shit.
Or a pundit, or another one of the punditry guys, and they called him like a nickname, perhaps that would be inappropriate for regular TV.
Yeah,
like it could have been really bad.
What if they called him King Booker?
Yeah, if they called him King Booker, that would have been really bad.
King Booker,
yeah.
we'll call it that one. Yeah,
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, 'cause
Press
they weren't
con-
talking to Jerry Lawler, so she wouldn't have shouted "Daddy."
I haven't. Press conferences is what we're going to finish on. I can't work out whether I like them or not.
I haven't watched this one back, but
Press
I've been told.
conferences.
I haven't
Oh, the
seen
press
it
conference.
yet.
I
I
don't
need
know
to watch
whether
it
I
after.
like the press conferences.
I like the press conferences.
I cannot believe they sent Jay out. Like
Jay was so drunk.
I need to watch this
Cody
back.
was a little
So
bit drunk. Jay was fucking hammered.
He was
Fucking
so drunk.
hammered. I was like, how did you let him
He
go
was
out?
sat there like, yeet, yeet.
He was yeet the whole time.
Yeah.
And he just kept on flopping his belts over his shoulders. Oh yeah. And then they'd ask him a question, and like his question would be his answer would be nothing to do with it. And at the very end, he'd bring it back and he'd go
Absolutely nothing to do with it.
something vaguely similar. So it's like, how pissed are you?
And Cody's just sat there pissing himself the whole time. It was like, oh, it was brilliant. At one point, he was like, "Oh, sorry, Hunter."
That was Jay saying it. Yeah. But Cody had a great time. Cody seems to be happy with Jay as well. Jay seems to be happy in Cody's presence. Presence. So it's nice.
Oh, they were having a right laugh together last night. You could tell like, he was good.
I got a question though, and I feel like it's something that we shouldn't skip past. Io Sky has just retained her world championship with the help of Bailey, and then they had Dakota Kai there as well. And the first fucking question she gets asked is about Taylor Swift. I'm thinking, what the fuck sort of people
Who let that guy in a press
they
conference?
let in?
You do know why, do you?
Why was she asked about Taylor Swift?
No idea.
But it's ridiculous. Why is that the first question that comes out of their mouth?
Because people have been
knows?
around. You know, Taker's going to be at NXT and Edge is there and blah blah. And someone's put up a thing, and it's all over Facebook, where they've come out with an AEW thing saying Beyonce is all elite. She's going to be singing the national anthem, and they're like, "Oh, WWE should get Taylor Swift to go and sing." And literally, that's all it's about.
But it's like, so why was that not mentioned to somebody else? But it's like, did
you not hear Triple H when he first came out?
What was that? No, I didn't.
He was like, "I'll answer pretty much any question. If anybody asks me anything about Taylor Swift, I'll kick you out."
Yeah.
Well, good on him.
Was Taylor at the end? Was fucking Triple H at the end?
Yeah, it was
I think I fell asleep watching the press conference last night. I did see a bit of Triple H on the on TikTok this morning. But yeah, I mean, that's that. I don't think there's anything else to sort of say except from thank you very much, guys. Yeah, we've done our things. We're gonna
do this more often.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna start doing podcasts more often because we've got too much to cover. This is the problem. We're forgetting bits because we're not doing them regularly enough, and we've got too much that we need to go back over. So we need to do them more often.
Maybe we need to come up with a better schedule now that we know in the next few pay-per-views. Maybe we should pick some dates and we'll start saying, okay, this is when we're filming a podcast. This is when we're filming a podcast. Maybe they shouldn't be monthly. Maybe we could do a couple that are a bit bi-weekly, perhaps.
Yeah.
All I will say is I can't wait for the next pay-per-view. Because it's Crown Jewel. It'll be afternoon on a Saturday.
I'm also, spoiler alert, going to start looking at trying to release a daily wrestling news video of some description.
I think that'd be very good.
We'll see. I'm going to try.
No promises, everyone. No promises,
Yes.
YouTube. But yeah. Also, whilst we're here, thank you for all the views that we've had on YouTube in the last month or so. Like,
it's been doing all right.
Nearly 500,000 views. So thank you very much, guys.
Sweet.
Very nice. We got our thousands. We finally hit that partner level for YouTube as well, which is even better.
Only one more place to hit it on.
Yeah. Our Twitch is 40
1,000
something away from hitting 1,000 now.
38.
38. Jesus.
Wow, so close.
Yeah. But thank you, Titch, for joining us as well tonight. Thank you for being with us all weekend and being our sort of reliable guest for our streams recently.
Most of last week as well, yeah. Titch is the
MVP.
MRP.
Most reliable
person.
Very good. But yes,
I still want to call her MVP.
And the fuck did I see that one? Please don't call me MVP. He's a dick.
We're off to record this, but you'd have already seen it, so let us know how the fuck we did with this in the comments below. And yeah, please leave a like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace.
Ugh. Bye.